Yeah, hello, welcome back. In this video, let us take a deeper look at the project initiation. So, as discussed before, while starting a project, during the initiation, basically we have the project owner and we have the sponsors. Project owner is the person who is owning the project. Project sponsor or sponsors are those who are funding the project, and sometimes the owner and the sponsor can be the same entity or individual. But then in mega projects, now we have this Kochi Metro, we have the state government owning it, and we have the Kochi Metro Rail, the owner. The state government is a sponsor, and there are banks sponsoring it. Uh, so collectively, they are the high power, high interest stakeholders. So in small projects, it could be sponsor and the uh, owner. It all could be same. But for mega projects, the owner could be one and the sponsors could be different. But during initiation phase, the it is owned by the sponsor or sponsors. They develop a project charter because there could be n number of project ideas. So why are we doing this particular project? That must be substantiated. So they come out with the charter. Charter is a 4 to 5 page document, uh, and the first thing is the introduction to the project, the scope of the project, the business case of the project, like how much investment and why are we doing it? What is the payback period? That is, in how many years' time we'll be able to make this project profitable after gaining the investment, after taking the investment out, and the net present value. There are some financial ratios to to substantiate the reason for executing this project. For that, we may do some sort of alternatives analysis, and the justification for doing this project will be well documented, and the assumptions and the constraints, those things also will be documented, and high level risks, the major risks of the project will be documented, and the major milestones with dates, and the key stakeholders of the project, their name, roles and responsibilities, contact details. uh, and the most important thing is the project charter contains the project manager's name, roles and responsibilities, etc. So we say that the project manager gets authority through the project charter because this is the formal document where the project manager's name is there, roles and responsibilities are there, and it is approved by the senior management or the sponsor. So that gives authority to the project manager. So this is the key document which appoints the project manager as the project manager of the project. And a copy of this goes to all the key stakeholders. So everybody knows that so and so is the project manager. These are the roles and responsibilities. And they also know about other key stakeholders, their roles and responsibilities. Everything will be there. So, a good project chartering process ensures that enough thought process has gone into the selection of the projects. Because as per PMBOK, sometimes they say, when does a project fail? And they always try to substantiate that project fail at the beginning, because if you pick up a project which doesn't have a business case, a solid business case, it is bound to fail. So if you google and then try to if you google for failed projects, the classical failures, most of the things have failed because uh, they decided to go ahead with the project which doesn't have a business case. And after that, recovery becomes very, very difficult. Another step, the first step in initiation is developing and releasing a project charter. We discussed about the major sections within a project charter. And the second activity in project initiation is identifying the key stakeholders of a project. And who is a stakeholder? Anybody who is affected positively or negatively by doing a project or by not doing a project or by delaying a project is a project stakeholder. Uh, so a classic, a typical example of stakeholders would be the project manager, the owner, the project management consultants, the contractors, subcontractors, uh, the government bodies, the local people who are affected by doing the project, the execution teams, maybe even their families. So all even competitors. So all these things, all these guys comes under the umbrella of project stakeholders. From project to project, stakeholders will change. So there is no specific formula. For example, you take a project because some years back we had a proposal of a pipeline project running through from Iran to India via Afghanistan and Pakistan. So if you try to understand the stakeholders of this project, even that even we may need the assistance of consultants to do that for us. So, but then these steps ensures developing the project charter and identification of the stakeholders and doing a stakeholder analysis to try to understand who is high power, who is low power, and their interest levels. So this will help us to uh, provide a solid foundation for the project to start. So these things, and the most important thing, a project manager is appointed through the project charter and he gets authority. So indirectly what it says, any changes to the charter must be reapproved by the sponsor or the senior management team. So another question that arises is, can the project manager prepare the project charter? The answer is yes, and that's how generally it is developed because the key stakeholders may not have the time to do all these things. So, actually, the project manager, in consultation with the key stakeholders or the sponsors, develops the project charter and it must be authorized or approved by the sponsors. That's how it is done. Uh, and here the project manager is appointed. Now the project manager takes the project into the detailed planning process, which I'll explain in the next video. Thank you very much for watching this.